my life. We're gonna do a little rant lives matter today, right? Because it's the last day in Stockholm and I am free of my Stockholm syndrome. We got the music back, we're getting back to OG John so that the music can get me out of my analytical head and I can be more present and emotional. So we're gonna talk about some developments. So, as you probably been watching, babe, you know, I've got two parts to my personality, and everyone can take this test. It's called Helen Fisher's temperament test. She's a neurobiologist or neuroscientist who I think she started chemistry.com, etc. And she's done a lot of the studies that's similar to John Gottman about relationship science, etc. Now, she has this test. It's called the temperament test. You can take it. I can correlate that with, or there's some causality with the Myers-Briggs test, right? That Myers-Briggs is another personality test based on Carl Jung's psychotypes, etc., and the deeper systems called socionics, and the test was developed by a mother and daughter named Myers and Briggs. It doesn't matter. We don't have to get into the history, but the point is, there are 16 personality types. That's the predominant one I talk about. You know that I want an ISFP, introverted sensing, feeling, prospecting type. I'm an ENTJ, extroverted, intuitive thought and judgment. It's a perfect complement. And different hormones are correlated with different types. So NTs have higher testosterone. SPs have higher dopamine, SJs have higher serotonin, and NFs have higher estrogen, right? So the ISFP is high dopamine, high estrogen. I am high dopamine, high testosterone, right? So our overlap is on the dopamine. We're both a little exploratory. And then our complement is me being testosterone, you being estrogen. You're the empathetic, kind of more people-pleasing. I'm the more dominant, non-neurotic, balancing you, directing type, right? We just let go of the whole serotonin. We don't need to be stress-free, baby. We're gonna have a high-octane life. But the point is, so I have these two parts to my personality. Everyone has a dominant type and then you have a secondary subtype. My dominant type is director, right? I'm dominant testosterone, planning, strategic, vision, executed, right? That's this whole platform. That's how I'm able to direct women to understand themselves and really in a better basis, problem solve and get what they want in life and in love, like I do better than every other man. Now, I don't have love yet, but men are short-term maters and I clean up relative to every man on earth, relative to my power level. I'm number one. So the point is, and that's why you gotta be number one in your dimension. So I'm director, testosterone first, but secondary, I'm dopamine explorer. Now this trip, and you've been watching the whole Kismet journey, ever since I left New York, it's been this kind of exploratory, understanding my inner self and the adventure dopamine side, almost integrating a bit of the estrogen of you, the reflection, the poetry, the journaling, so that I can have a conduit to you, right? Because if I'm just pure testosterone, do this, the dictator attracts the pushover, and I've been there before. I've done it before. That's not what I want, yeah? But honestly, it's better to be with a dictator than a pansy, but no, we're not going down that route. We want